Okay, I'm just setting up the live stream. Won't be long. And I think we are there. Okay, so today we are taking a look at the Draco X in Flight Simulator 2024, and I've brought it out to a very good environment for it. This is the Papua New Guinea highlands from Orbx. So just to show you these, there are 3 packs available in the Highlands Bush Strips packs from Orbx. They're about £10 each in sterling, so about $12, 11.5 euros. So you get a number of airfields in each pack, and as you can see, the scenery is absolutely wonderful in each one. So different areas, but they're all, mountaintop or hillside airfields, so they are all very difficult to land at. So they really are only really suited to bush planes. You can obviously, try your luck with things like caravans and stuff like that. But yeah, so we're going to be looking at them. So I've never flown this aeroplane before, by the way. This is the Draco X. It's new to Flight Sim 2024. So we're going to go and get it ready. So we got rid of the chocks and the engine covers. It's a lovely looking aeroplane, isn't it? I think it's commonly used as a tug in the real world. So if we go and open the door and get in, you can see it's very, very modern inside. So we may go as far as putting some airfields into this, because I know that I've tried to put some of these airfields we're going to visit into the planner online, and it doesn't know many of them because a lot of them are obviously bush strips which are not in the usual scenery. So let's go and have a look around and see what we can see in the switches. So we got lights across the top, all the way across the top, lots of different lights. And you've got fuel pumps down here, and ignition, starter, generator, avionics, a battery switch over here. And we've got some vents and pilot heating over there, so that's internal heating. And then we've got obviously fuel condition, propeller, so it's a turboprop, and the fuel tank selector down here. Looks very good, doesn't it? So I'll turn the head tracking on in a moment. Just to get it started though, I'm going to look around the cockpit just with normal controls. So we're going to go and turn the batteries on, and we'll turn the avionics on so we get some display of the engines. And we can agree to the various warnings on the screens and wait for the avionics to align and to tell us which way up the aeroplane is, which way round it is, and where it is in the world. So after a few seconds, the map should light up and the ground should appear on the display. Famous last words, of course. We're going to be turning the engine on in a moment, so we'll go and put the nav and beacon lights on. We'll also go and put the nose light on, just have a look at it. We'll put the tip taxi lights on and the downward taxi lights on. So it's taking a while, isn't it? There we go. Slowly aligning. So if we go and look outside, you can see some of those lights. So it's got a lot of lights, hasn't it? Very cool. And it's finally figured out where we are in the world as well. So I said we were going to maybe go and put the route in. I think the easiest way to do that is probably going to be in here. So we're going to have to put some airports in. There's hopefully not too many of them. So AYNM is the first airport. We could do this obviously directly into the avionics suite. So then we're not going to bother with departures or anything. So we'll add a waypoint. And then we're going to go to AYYE is the next one. And then AYYW. And then AYSP. And AYDN. Hopefully the battery won't go flat while we're doing this. Should last more than a couple of minutes. AYIS. AYTP. AYBC. AYNA. And AYNH. And AYGH. So if we can pronounce these place names of these various airstrips while we're en route, it might be good fun. Oh, that's our destination actually, isn't it? AYGH. So we'll remove that one and set that as our destination, AYGH. And we'll send that to the avionics. That's the easy way to do that. Okay. So we got the power on. Let's go and get this engine up and running. So we're going to want to go and put the fuel pumps on. And then we're going to start the starter. And then the ignition. And fuel. So we're waiting for the numbers to come up, so that's coming through 52%, so we can then go to turn the starter off and the ignition off. Engine will run itself, put the generators on, and we just got the parking brake on now. So we're up and running. Fairly simple to get up and running then. We'll put the landing lights on as well. Let's go and have a look at that, see what that looks like outside. So we've got the parking brake on at the moment. Let's go and advance the fuel condition lever. We'll also go advance the propeller lever. Whoa, that woke up, didn't it? Look at the grass moving around. Very cool. Oh, we have got we've missed one of the pitot covers. So rather than walk through the propeller, we'll walk around. Great shout from the live stream there from somebody from Trulio. So should we give the elevators a wiggle while we're here? Yep, they're good. They're not going to fall off. Not by the ailerons. Yep, they're good. And we'll go and get back in. So, I think we're good. Do we need the fuel pumps on? Apparently we do. Okay, so we have head tracking, so we're going to go and take off. So let's have a look at the flaps as well. We haven't got great visibility out the sides, so they're mechanical. Obviously there's a huge lever here, look, so we can move the flaps between. So takeoff should be 22, okay. Whoa, what is going on? Okay. I am going to restart the flight. Hopefully it won't lose... is that going to lose the map? Okay, we're going to go and land and try that again. After taking off and lifting the tail, it suddenly lurched left. And I don't know if that's a control configuration problem. or... Okay, there's the airport. So we want flaps. I think there might be something going on with the throttle as well, because I've got the throttle as far as I can see just out of beta. But there was something really odd there, where it lurched left with after the tail had come up. And it's doing it again. So I want to find out what's going on with that before we go to any other airfields. We're using this airfield as our test airfield, basically. So I'm pulling back. Let's see if it helps if we pull back during the takeoff run. Yeah, it does. So forcing the tail wheel into the ground, that was odd. It just corkscrewed left really violently. So perhaps you just don't need full power either, and that may have been a contributing factor. So you learn something really quickly, don't you, in a simulator? It is an odd looking thing, isn't it? So we appear to have... Oh, of course it went and blew itself up, didn't it? So it's gone and put the lights onto... Yeah, look, onto pulse. We'll leave the nose light on as it left. So it's got light off. Beacon is on, pitot heat is on, the ice is off. Let's have a look. That's a bit nicer, isn't it? Okay. So let's have one more go before we head off down the road. So we're coming in to land at this airfield. We need to slow it down, so we'll side slip it. And we are within flaps range. We'll go full flaps and see how steeply we can come down. So full flaps, full side slip, engine back against the stops. And it's holding about 55 knots. Descending very, very steeply into this hillside airfield. So yeah, this is not the textbook way to approach, but it's working for us. Looks to be another aeroplane down there, so it looks like we're going to be chased along the way. I've left multiplayer on. Let's straighten this up. This scenery really is fantastic, isn't it? All the people and the logs and the brush, it's very good. Whoa, we've got a ground loop. Look at that, it's so steep here. Yep, and the airplane tipped over. So even though we were only doing 1 knot, that seems a bit wrong, because this plane doesn't weigh anything. It's very, very strange. It tipped over. It weighs nothing. And there was no momentum there. It was just... We were doing like 2 knots on the ground, and it spun around and tipped over. At minimum revs. We can come back in again. We're going to get this right before we set off to learn how to operate the aeroplane. Yeah, that's asking a bit too much to come in that short. The trees look good, don't they? We're doing 40 knots. It's crazy, isn't it? Okay. So you have to be very careful. So we were hardly moving last time, and the tail spun around and it just rolled the plane over and lunched itself. The secret may be, yeah, look, it's going again. Just have to be really careful. Okay, I think we've got it now. We'll pull the propeller back to 75%. So hopefully, it's difficult for me to see at the moment. I've turned the quality up on OBS. So, I've gone and changed the settings a little bit to hopefully make the greens a bit sharper. They usually come out quite muddy because of streaming compression. I think it's looking okay. Let's have a look from outside. Still got some flashing lights going on from where it crashed. Of course, we crashed a second time, didn't we? So it's gone and turned all of the lights onto pulsing again. Leave the nose light on. So we wanted to go that way. And clear this hill. We've got loads of power. Nose light, beacon light, pitot heat. That's nav and beacon, I should say. So we probably should have nav and strobe, shouldn't we? Let's have a look at that, see what it looks like. So has that lit up the tail? It's difficult to tell in the sunshine. We get nav lights. Or en route, we'll have a play with the lights, have a read of them. Tip lights, I guess. So that should put blinking lights. Oh, that's blinking the entire light though. That just leaves them on the whole time. How strange. So we've got a bit of a stretch to the first airfield. Should we see if this has actually got the flight plan? Because I'm not confident that it actually has. Okay, so where do we get the flight plan display up? Let's press tab. So it's still got everything. So if we have a look on here. Yeah, this has got it. So where's the next leg on there? Maybe it only ever shows the current leg. So apologies for not looking at live stream chat very much. I've been kind of obviously learning this new aeroplane and smashing 2 up in short order. But hopefully the rest of the flight should be fairly straightforward. So this is the Draco X. It's one of the aircraft that comes with 2024. I'm not sure if it comes with all the versions. Go and skim over this ridge. Heading into the cloud. Have some fun with the low altitude flight. Though I say that, we're up at 11,000 feet, look, 12,000 feet, so you do need to be careful about the aeroplane you choose to mess around in these hills. So you see this scrub all over the place. Look at it sliding. That's fantastic, isn't it? So we're obviously heading down here to, there's the airfield, we can see it directly in front of us in the gaps between the hills. So let's go and zoom in a bit on the map. Didn't mean to do that, we want to do that. So yeah, I'm not using VR, I'm using the Orbx, sorry, the Orbx, listen to me, the Tobii head tracker. Or Eye Tracker even. The Tobii Eye Tracker 5. Which Tobii very generously gave me one of quite some time ago now. So in return for reviewing it, I was allowed to keep it. And I've sung its praises ever since. There are obviously other eye trackers and head trackers around and other means of doing it with mobile phones, but the Tobii head tracker, or eye tracker, sorry, is very, very smooth. It's the latency on it. It just clips onto the bottom of the monitor, so you don't need any special headgear as you would with Track IR. So we're just descending down, and then we're going to come in and do a touch and go. Obviously, we need to descend a bit further. So let's go and see what we can get away with. Side slipping and watching the indicated airspeed. Trying to bring us down as fast as I can towards the tree line, and then we'll loop around and come in for a touch and go. So the airfield we are coming up to is Yamat. Let's ask Say Intentions about it. So I think we've got the tour guide on. Should we go and check before we do anything? So if we go into Say Intentions and Intercom, no, we've got the Mentor on. So we want the tour guide. We'll ask for Sarah and OK, and minimise that. Let's hope she's going to come out of the speakers correctly today. Hi Sarah, what can you tell us about where we are?
We're currently flying over Yamat Airport, which is located in Papua New Guinea. This airport serves as a gateway to the surrounding natural beauty of the region, including lush rainforests and stunning mountain ranges. The airport was established to facilitate access to the remote areas of the country, and it's a crucial hub for both domestic and international flights. The area is known for its diverse wildlife and is a popular spot for ecotourism. If you look out to our right, you might catch a glimpse of the breathtaking landscape that attracts adventurers and nature lovers alike.
So I'm side-slipping all the way in, because obviously we're descending at quite a steep angle and we want to keep the speed down as much as we can. Shut down, does it? So I went to beta. Maybe the trick is to go to beta, you know, after you touch down or during the flare. Looks amazing, doesn't it? The scenery around here. Very, very cool. I'm just going to straighten up our camera. Okay. Flaps to takeoff position. It's a bit twisty on takeoff until you get some airspeed. Look at that thing flying. Okay, so next leg for us. That hasn't pulled in the map properly, has it? Should try it again and see what it does. Send route to avionics. Absolutely doesn't understand it, does it? It's messed it up spectacularly. This is wrong. So it didn't send the flight plan across to it. So we'll just ignore this screen for the rest of the flight. Okay, so we're going down to Yawan airstrip now. So should we ask Sarah about Yawan airstrip? What can you tell us about Yawan airstrip?
Yawan airstrip, located near the village of Yawan, is a small airstrip primarily used for local flights and access to remote areas. It plays a crucial role in connecting communities in Papua New Guinea, especially in regions where road access is limited. The airstrip is often used by small aircraft, making it an essential hub for transporting goods and people. It's fascinating to think about how these small airstrips contribute to the daily lives of the locals, allowing them to reach markets, schools, and healthcare facilities. If you look closely, you might even spot some local activity around the airstrip, as it's a vital part of the community's infrastructure.
Bringing the aeroplane round towards it, go over the next two hills. If we went over towards the kind of south of the route we're on, we'll find the valley that leads into it. So we go and zoom in. Yeah, it is on here. It's this one here, look. So if we can get down to this valley, pop up over the top of this hill. And then, yeah, if we keep going down, we should get to the valley that leads to the airport. So this valley along here heads in towards the next airfield. You can see it on the map here. It's not super clear. fly along the valley floor to get to the airport. Hills are quite steep around here, aren't they? That's interesting. This is saying to use both tanks, but we've got one wing coming down before the other on the pumps. Now is that... so both fuel pumps are on. So what's going on with that then? Maybe you have to turn one of the fuel pumps off to get it to do that. So if I was to turn the left pump off, no, the engine really didn't like that, and the engine's dying. Okay, so we're almost on top of the airfield. It's going to be somewhere around here. It's to our left somewhere. It might be on the hillside. Is this it here? It is. So we need to probably fly it out across here and turn back. And there it is, look. Nestled in the hillside. So if we go, yeah, we're just about slow enough. Full flaps. Let's test this thing out. This thing stops so quickly when you want it to. Once you get used to it, it's very, very, very manoeuvrable. These trees look amazing, don't they? And there's another aeroplane down here by the look of it. So 50% power, whoa! It did it again. It pulled so hard to the left I couldn't recover it, even at 50% power. And the only option was to go full power. Luckily I had propeller already up to speed. this aeroplane can get you out of trouble in a hurry. Very cool. Okay, so we're going to follow this over to Manga Airport. Hi Sarah, what can you tell us about Manga Airport? Should we go for the lower route over the hills?
SAP Manga Airport, located in Papua New Guinea, is a small airstrip that primarily serves the local community.
Okay, SAP
It was established to provide access to the surrounding areas, which are often difficult to reach by road. The airport is crucial for transporting goods and people, especially in regions where infrastructure is limited. It's fascinating to think about how small airstrips like this one connect remote villages to larger cities, making a significant impact on daily life. If you look out the window, you might see some local activity around the airstrip, as it's a hub for the community.
So we follow the valley down, and it should take us more or less straight to it. So I think the moral of the story with this aeroplane is be very careful about how you introduce power. Don't just dump it to even to 50%. And it started corkscrewing left, and even with full right rudder, it wasn't enough. And of course, once it starts to get momentum in the rotation, you're in trouble. So it's somewhere over here. Is it above us, maybe? Should we get a little bit of altitude? See, we can do this with this aeroplane. There it is. It's in the valley floor directly below us. So we need to approach from the far end where the trees have been cut. So we'll descend down in side slipping as we go to avoid picking up too much speed. And we'll fly over to this far hillside and then come back in. Fly down through the middle of the trees to the runway, so where they've all been cut. Of the airport. It's behind us, isn't it? I think I came down too low. Hidden behind the hillside, look. So I need to, okay, we'll fly over to this flat plateau and that will give us a good reference point. So if we just turn 180 from here, we'll be able to see it. It's hidden behind the ridge. This simulator is becoming ridiculous, isn't it? Look at the jungle canopy, it's ridiculous. So if we were to just put the parking brake on and go for a walk, oh, it's AYSP sub Manga, okay. It's crazy, isn't it? It's just, what will they do next? There are some static animals around, obviously when you get close to them they look really fake, but from a distance they look real. So we've got some chickens and a lawnmower and a goat. So I presume we can just press Shift C, can't we, to jump back in? Yeah. Okay, so engine back to, let it bring up the speed gradually. Yeah, you just need to be careful with torque. So, what's our next heading? 230 degrees. So we're going to dodge along this hill for a bit of fun along the way. So we are going to have to clear this hillside, I guess. Just looking, we could go to the south of it, but may as well just go straight for the top. We can, so let's go in fast at the bottom and fly straight up the hillside just for a bit of fun. So 100% on the propeller. We're ready on the power to give it some welly. Is it going to make it? Yeah, easily. So 230 degrees we want. So is it all the way across this valley? Yeah. So now across the other side. So somewhere on the other side of that hill is the airfield that we're aiming for. Actually, while we're out here at a little bit of altitude, let's try a stall test and see. I've not actually tried this to see what happens if you do stall it. So I'm just going to get some altitude, cut the throttle back, cut the propeller back. So we'll watch the speed fall off. I'll hold the nose at more than 20 degrees up. So I'm at full back stick now. So it just mushes. What if we put the prop into beta? And it's dropped the left wing. If we keep holding the elevator, it won't spin. It just pulls itself back round. Okay. So it will tend to drop the left wing. Now we know. And under normal power it wouldn't drop the wing. It was only once we went into beta that it lost lift completely and dropped the wing. Obviously it has a residual amount of thrust over the wing root. So if you're wondering how they managed to make the body so thin, the fuel is obviously in the wings and in the legs. It reminds me a little bit of the Vilga. It's like a prettier version of a Vilga, isn't it? So I think we're nearly there. Yep. So the airfield is somewhere on this hillside or hilltop. We will circle and look for it. Just looking at the GPS map there in the cockpit. So it should be over here somewhere. Is that it on the hillside over there? I think it might be on the ridge. Though it doesn't look like it's on... Oh, there it is. I was going to say it didn't look like it was on the ridge. I thought that might have been it, but obviously it's here. So we need to go out over the valley and then come back. Trying to lose some airspeed so we can get the flaps down for landing. So we'll look again. Just circling on the spot at the moment. So it's going to be about 150 degrees off our nose, something like that. Yeah, we've gone below the line of the airport again. The ridge is concealing it. Get a little bit of height. Or we could come in from an angle, couldn't we, and come through the gap in the trees. That'd be good fun. It's probably the way to do it, to be honest, with the height of the trees. Fly in through the gap and straighten up at the last moment. Okay, so flaps to take off, start rolling, take it out of beta, let the nose come up, gently does it, whoa! The wind started to weathercock the aeroplane. So, where is next? So we need to go about 330 degrees-ish. So is it over the hill or is it this side of the hill? It's over the hill. Just an odd looking aeroplane, isn't it? How are we looking for fuel? So the fuel is burning down equally now. How? Oh, I see. It's wings and legs, not left and right side. Even though it says L and R, it says wings and legs. So it's using the wings up first and then the legs, is that correct? I wonder if there's ways of managing that. Although saying that, you've got left and right on the wings and the legs. So I apologise. So that still doesn't make sense earlier why we were only burning one wing's worth and not the other. Aha, so Shady says if you pick up too much speed in a dive, you lose all pitch authority. Presumably you could use rudder though. I'm going to try it. Before we get to Isan, let's ask about Isan on the way. Hi Jane, can you tell us about Isan airstrip? Is it Isan or Isan?
Isan Airstrip is a small airstrip located in Papua New Guinea, primarily serving the local communities. It was established to provide essential access to remote areas, allowing for the transport of goods and passengers, where road infrastructure is limited. The airstrip is often used by small aircraft, making it a vital link for the locals, especially for healthcare and education. If you look out the window, you might see some activity around the airstrip,
Right.
as it plays a crucial role in the daily lives of the people in the area.
I still have elevator control. I'm within. Yeah, I don't want to overspeed it completely, obviously, because it will rip the airframe to pieces, but so I've got damage on. I still had elevator control, right? So it's off to our left. So Is this it down here? No, it's just some houses. Is it right in the valley bottom? Maybe it's further across. Is this it here? Let's have a look on the map. Yeah, it's on top of the ridge. So it's going to be over here, isn't it? You would imagine. I think this is it. Hi Sarah, tell us a bit about Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea is a fascinating country made up of over 600 islands and is known for its incredible biodiversity and rich cultural heritage. It's home to some of the world's most unique wildlife, including the iconic bird of paradise. The country has a complex history, with over 800 different languages spoken, making it one of the most linguistically diverse places on Earth. The landscape is dominated by rugged mountains, dense rainforests, and stunning coastlines, which attract adventurers and nature lovers from around the globe. Plus, the local traditions and customs are as colorful as the scenery.
So it looks like we could come in around the side of the trees. I'm just side slipping it down to lose some altitude without gaining airspeed. So if we come in from this angle, in between all the trees. Try not to. Whoa! What did that hit? I don't think we were that close to the trees. Okay, let's try that again. That's interesting. You can pull the flaps on without damaging them above the flap speed. Try this again. Maybe stay a bit higher this time. Stay away from those trees on the left. Maybe we did clip it with the wing. It's difficult to tell in this aeroplane. The wing doesn't look that long, does it? Okay, that was one of the more difficult ones so far, because we're on the crest of a hill. I don't know if you see that. Look at the course we came in on. Yeah, so the wingspan isn't that great. So we're going to be taking off uphill, which is going to be fun. Should we try and do a takeoff from the external view and see what happens? Nope. Yeah. There's no way you can do it from outside. It's just too squirrely. You can't react in time from the external view. So we'll bring it back in one more time and take off properly. Every flight I do in the simulator turns into a test session, doesn't it? So it's quite amusing, really. So we'll bring it back in once more. I was at 50% power that time. So we bring it in for a landing. Stay to the right side. Come in steep on purpose. That was a bit better. Nope. There's no way. That was full rudder deflection and the aeroplane just corkscrewed left as soon as I gave it any power at all. I was about 30% power and it just went into the tree line. That's frustrating. Okay, we'll try the next one. Tep Tep Airport. 287 degrees. I was going to say a few minutes ago I was getting used to the aeroplane, but I don't trust it at all now. I think the wind is getting up as well. Can we get a view of that on this version of the avionics? I'm not sure that we can. Not that we can fiddle around with while we're struggling to fly the aeroplane anyway. So yes, you've got propeller speed, and I only had it on 70% or 75%. But I just brought the throttle up, and for some reason that particular airfield, it was catching the tail. As soon as we gave it any power, it started corkscrewing left, and with full right rudder deflection, there was nothing we could do. Don't know why. So we're heading over to Tep Tep, which is in line with us, and it's grass, so it's probably over this hillside. And there it is. So let's go and try and get rid of some airspeed and go straight in. We're trying to get rid of airspeed. There we go. Let's have a look. Are there any windsocks down here? Maybe the wind is playing a factor, but you wouldn't imagine with these sheltered airfields in amongst the trees, you wouldn't imagine on the ground the wind's going to have any effect. So let's get rid of the rudder. Let the nose come round. Well, they're saying that that last airfield was on a hillside, wasn't it? So maybe there was wind whistling up the hillside that was having an effect. Yeah, I'm having to give it an absolute bootload of rudder on this one as well. And elevator to jam the tail wheel into the ground. Wasn't happy at all, and it still isn't. It's squirrely. It is amazing scenery though, isn't it? Looks incredible. PC6 parked up. Let's see if it does it again here. So we got right rudder. That's full right rudder, and there's nothing I can do. Nope. It's frustrating, mate. Really, really frustrating. I'm going to come back in again and try once more. So as soon as I gave it any amount of power, it just corkscrewed left under full right rudder. What is going on? I think maybe the aeroplane's broken, you know. You just saw that? Does it put autopilot on when you come back from a crash? Is that what's going on there? They obviously haven't got the scenery that we've got. try that again. It's funny, isn't it? You'll see the... Look, we were tending towards the right before we corkscrewed to the left. It's absolutely bizarre. So let's bring the power up really gently this time. So flaps at takeoff. There it goes. That's crazy. No, that's wrong. Yeah. That was 30 or 20% power, and it went violently left, and there was absolutely nothing we could do. That's yeah. The autopilot comes on. Look. So how do we cancel that? Where's the autopilot button? That was absolutely mad. So that's a shame, because otherwise this aeroplane's brilliant, but that's uncontrollable. To the point that I don't think there's much point. Well, I'll do touch and goes the rest of the route. So Bamboo AYBC is, what was it, 320 degrees from our current location. I'll have to do touch and goes. Can't do full stops with this aeroplane for whatever reason. It's just ridiculous. Once you have airspeed, it's absolutely fine. But you saw there, small amount of power, and there was nothing we could do. Okay, the weather's closing in on us now, just to make it a bit more fun for the last few airfields. So, 320 degrees to Bamboo, 7 miles. We're going to soldier on, and we're going to attempt to do touch and goes where we can at least. I almost wish I'd chosen the Caravan now, because at least we know that it behaves. So, whereabouts is this airfield? Is it on... Oh, it's okay, it's on the ridge, it's not on the bottom of the valley, so we'll stay up here. Is it on top of that ridge there? Looks like it might be. We're headed straight for it, aren't we? Just giving ourselves a bit of altitude so we can see it. What's the best way to approach this airport then? Clear this ridge, down the other side of it, and then straight in, I guess. So we can use this ridge to lose some airspeed. There's the runway. So maybe we come down this ridge, fly along the hillside and then turn right into the airfield. It's a bit more of a technical one, isn't it? Can we touch and go it? We should be able to. So we'll keep the nose high, the rudder, to stop ourselves accelerating. It's just there, isn't it? Might be able to touch and go it. Yeah, we're fine. Sorry, we're not staying. Okay, so Nanina Airport is next, which is northwest of us. Is that it on the next hilltop? Let's have a look on the map. Yeah, it's on the top of the hill. So which way do we approach from? Looking at, okay, so it slopes this way is upwards, so that's the way you want to come in, runway 14. It's often difficult to tell looking at it from the air. So we're going to fly past and then come back in. again, we're going to do a touch and go. We're not going to stop because of these problems we've been having with taking off on some of the airfields. It's bizarre when it happens. Sometimes it doesn't happen. This is the weird thing. Okay, so then we've got 20 miles across to Nahu airstrip. And due west to get there. So I'm going to have a play with the autopilot at last. So we should be able to go a heading mode, and that's put the bug on. So then heading mode on the autopilot, put the autopilot on and the altitude hold, and it will hold us to the direction we want to go. How are we doing for fuel? Lots. But again, look, left is using more than right. I wonder why. There's got to be a reason for it. I wonder, I guess you just go and select right to equal it up. You turn off the autopilot before you slam into the hillside as well. So, seeing this in front of us, let's try the climbing abilities of the autopilot. So we're going to go and set our altitude on the altitude selector to, say, 9,000 feet. Vertical speed. $1,000 feet a minute. Is that going to cut it? Nope. We went it's about 2,000 feet a minute. Autopilot off. Autopilot back on. So let's go and set the target altitude for 11,000 feet. Vertical speed. 2,000 feet a minute. Stop the engine from launching itself. There's a 6-knot wind, so that might blow us back to the track, but probably not. Yeah, the big problem I've had with this throughout the whole flight is that it just corkscrewing as soon as the tail comes up. and not being able to catch it. And, you know, no matter how much thrust you have over the tail, no matter how much right rudder you have, it doesn't seem capable of catching it. No matter how smoothly you accelerate either. That's what I thought might be the cause, because we've seen that in things like the DC-3 in the past. So we're up at 11,000, that's still not going to be enough to get over that hill, is it? Unless it's not as far as that hill, but I'm not going to bank on that. We're about 8 miles out. So there's the peak. Yeah, it's down the other side of it, look. Has no problems with altitude at all, does it? Okay, so second to last airfield is at Nahu. So should we ask the guide? Hi Sarah, what can you tell us about Nahu airstrip? I bet it's the same text as used for all of the others.
Nahu Airstrip, located in Gumbarami, Papua New Guinea, is a small airstrip that serves as a vital link for the local communities. It was established to provide access to remote areas, allowing for the transport of goods and passengers where road infrastructure is limited. The airstrip is often used by small aircraft, making it essential for healthcare and education access. If you look out the window, you might see some local activity around the airstrip as it plays a crucial role in the daily lives of the people in the area.
So the concern is, are we going to have enough visibility to come in at all? Is it below this cloud or is it in the cloud? Just going to side slip down through the gaps. See if we can see it. So it's off to our right side somewhere on the other side of the hill though. So unless we get some visibility soon, it's there somewhere right in front of where we're looking. See it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, we can see it. Okay, we're okay. So we can do a touch and go. Yep. 8 miles north. So Ed is saying in the live stream comments, this looks like a nice plane. It looks like a nice plane. I'll do another takeoff at the final airfield just to show you why it's not. Of course, it could behave itself. It has a tendency to turn with torque, I'm guessing, to the left quite spectacularly. As soon as the tail wheel comes up, and the rudder doesn't seem to catch it. So whether they need to tweak the aerodynamics of the airflow, or that the rudder can, the influence the rudder has with airflow over it, I don't know. It just seems a little bit wrong that it's so difficult to save it. We've had several near misses, and we've smashed several aeroplanes up while testing it. So Guhu is about 4 miles in front of us somewhere. Just come onto the map screen in front of us. Hi Sarah, can you tell us about Guhu?
Guhu is a small village located near Guhu Airstrip in Papua New Guinea. It's known for its stunning natural beauty, surrounded by lush rainforests and mountains. The area is often visited by those looking to explore the rich biodiversity of the region. The airstrip itself serves as a vital link for the locals, connecting them to larger towns and cities. It's a great spot for those interested in experiencing the authentic lifestyle of Papua New Guinea's rural communities.
So we may have to play some fun games again to slow down. So we're going to lift the nose with the rudder on the left side and fighting to get the speed down. It's working, mate. going to do is turn around, taxi back, and then use the full length of the runway to try and take off, to show the issues with takeoff. Don't be surprised if we smash the plane up. It would be worth me showing, if I show a panoramic view, you'll see the rudder pedals. So you'll see me going, you know, full to one side and it doing nothing. Of course, it will behave itself this time. Okay, so we've got full right rudder to turn us. Okay. So we're going to go full propeller speed. Okay. And we're going to bring in the throttle gently, so we're bringing it out of beta. Letting the tail come up. Full right, and there's nothing I can do, look. There was absolutely nothing I can do. Bizarre. So I'll bring it back in again and land it again, and we'll just put the aeroplane away. There's the corkscrew, look, where it went shooting off into the grass. Oh no, that was when we turned around the first time, sorry. But yeah, there's definitely something going wrong with it, because you should be able to save it with full right rudder. Go and park next to the PC6 over here. We'll go up by the houses at the other end of the airfield. Yeah, there's taxi all the way back up. There we go. So hopefully you enjoyed that. That was interesting. Oh look, the controls, the screens are still on from, or they appear to be, even though we've removed the power. Should we go and have a look around the village? The Grand Theft Flight Simulator. Here we go. I don't think you can run, can you? Is this where I get eaten by something that runs out of the undergrowth? I'll try and find my way to one of the houses. I have to go through the bushes to get there. It's all a bit deserted, isn't it? There are no people around. Where have they all gone? Was it something I said? Someone's going to join this live stream late on, see me walking around and think this is a completely different game, aren't they? Any animals in the reeds? No. No, it's deserted here, isn't it? Oh well. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. And I'll see you again soon. Okay, I'm going to sign off, and yeah, that was a good try of the Draco X in Flight Simulator. It's just a shame it's got that takeoff problem, otherwise it's fantastic fun. See you again soon.